I hate to say it, but we're going to have an Earth crash, like he's mentioning. As far as you were very eloquent in the reallocation, the consolidation. We're having a consolidation and a reset as far as our planets and the solar system. What's happened is there's an electromagnetic emitter. It seems that calculations were discovered in the early 1980s by government's militaries. As computers got more advanced and the software, they were able to do calculations, and they knew that there's an inbound electromagnetic emitter. I don't have enough time to get in exactly what this is, but it exists. It's not large at all. It does not have to be, according to field theory, and it's not detected by normal scientific instruments. So it can be referred to as stealth mode. It cannot be detected in infrared, radio, X-ray, or any other means of telescopes or detection. So it's a stealth electromagnetic emitter. What it emits is it's far left of the electromagnetic spectrum. It's a different frequency emitter than our sun, but it's always been part of our solar system, but it's inbound. They mathematically detected that this was inbound in the early 80s. So government programs, especially the military, started to prepare for what they know is coming to planet Earth. It's also affecting the other inner planets. It affects Mars, Venus, Mercury, to a lesser extent, your larger planets such as Jupiter and Saturn. This electromagnetic emitter has come in southbound from the ecliptic of our solar system. So can you see my cursor here?
Yes.
Okay, it's been inbound. It came in from this vector as I'm moving my mouse. This electromagnetic emitter currently is located right here where the M is in Mars. It made electromagnetic portal connection December, Christmas Day 2004. Does anyone remember what happened December 25th, 2004? That was the probably the world's highest fatality natural disaster in human history. That's when the tsunami hit Indonesia.
Yes.
300,000. Okay, so the reason why that's important is
that was massive.
The reason why that's important is it got into the outer limits of our solar system, and it got close enough to make an umbilical cord, an electrical grounding connection to Earth, December 2004. And that connection was placed and still is in the Indonesia area. That's basically where the electromagnetic corridor or cable, umbilical cord, is connected. This anomaly passes through our solar system in between Earth's and Mars orbit. It always has. So right now we're at a position where when it reaches its perihelion, that's when the solar system harmonics, it has an opposite charge than our sun. So our sun has a south pole. If we're just to use simplified terms like a magnet, south pole, this is the North Pole celestial body. It's part of our solar system. Most solar systems, 97% have this. This anomaly is reaching its perihelion. It ejects out of our solar system between Earth and Mars orbit. When that happens, there's turmoil, especially between Mars and Earth, because that's the two closest planets in this orbital path. This information has been known since the early 80s and has been kept from the global population. One of the reasons is there's nothing that really can be done about this. This event happened between 4,600 and 5,100 years ago, and it terraformed the Earth. The last time this had come by, the Earth did not have its tilt, and it had an upper atmospheric canopy of water. So the Earth basically had a greenhouse effect. When this anomaly went through its perihelion and ejected out of our solar system, it tilted the Earth to where it remained today, and it broke that water canopy. Well, there's ancient records that refer to that as the flood account. There's a lot of historical references and cultures about the flood. That's exactly what happened. It also pressurized the interior of the Earth, so not only when the water canopy was broken and all that water came down, the aquifers and underground waterways, rivers and seas were pressurized, and water shot up. So you had water coming up through the ground and then the upper atmospheric canopy coming down. That changed the topography of the Earth. We are going to have a major topography change of the Earth very, very soon. So preparations have been made for this, and this event, which is predictable, it's mathematical, it's also historical. This event is being leveraged by those that have this information to reconfigure society and the dynamics of Earth after this event. I'm just telling you that right now. It gets very detailed of what's going on. When you hear about global warming or climate change, it's not what you think. This is a major organized alphabet agency psyop to explain what's been happening to Earth. Same thing with Mars. I'll get into that in a minute. They have a side story to distract as to why we're having severe weather patterns and earthquake and volcanic activity on the Earth. It has nothing to do with SUVs and global warming. It has little to do with weather weapons. We know they have the technology to energize hurricanes, de-energize hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, or steer them. Sure, they've had that technology in the 70s, where they've had a weather weapon treaty among the 8 major nations. But that's not what's causing what we're seeing. The Earth and Mars is responding because this electromagnetic emitter emits far left of the electromagnetic spectrum. So it's far left to the radio waves. We don't have any instruments to detect this. Well, how do you know it's present? You have to look at the testimony given by the interior planets. That's the only way to calculate and observe what is happening. The Earth, since we live here, focus that more on Mars. Mars is somewhat irrelevant, only it gives us a clue as to where this electromagnetic emitter, what regions it's located, and how close in between the two planets' orbit paths. The Earth has been absorbing this long wave energy since December 2004. That energy is heating up the core, which is heating up the magma closest to the core. That is being pressurized and expanding. All these ancient magma corridors have now been pressurized that have been dormant for 4,600 years. They are now pressurized. That magma is expanding and rising, and it's displacing the thinner magma that our continents float on. All the major land masses. So we're at a critical point now where the Earth is fully pressurized internally. It's heating up the oceans. The Earth is having great difficulty maintaining temperature equilibrium. The ocean currents, which are veins like the human body, which are used for food, nutrient production, and temperature control, as well as water vapor, all is unstable. The planet is acting schizophrenic because it cannot help it. due to the electromagnetic energy that the stealth emitter has been emitting. This is causing, in historical past as well, this is causing major crop interruption. So in ancient texts, when it talked about a great reset, it talked about famines and pestilences coming. This is information, let's say off-planet information, where you have observers who have been there before and know how the Earth behaves when this electromagnetic emitter interacts with our solar system. It's not always the same either because of solar system harmonics. When this electromagnetic emitter finally ejects out of our solar system, how it affects the Earth is not the same every 46 to 5,100 years. This electromagnetic emitter does not have a consistent, stable orbit. It accelerates and slows up. It's not like any other anomaly because it interacts with the sun and the different polarities. So depending on where Earth is located and Jupiter are the two main celestial alignments that determine, does this electromagnetic emitter come and exit our solar system with very nominal effects on Earth, or it's basically a non-event? Because we're talking about a 20 to 25 year period, inbound and outbound. And then it reaches its intensity, which we're seeing right now, and we will in the next few years to come. And this is where the bad news is coming. This particular aspect is going to be every bit as intense as the one I mentioned over 4,600 years ago. The ancient legends and historical events talk about the flood. That's why there's certain behaviors of underground facilities, geopolitical events, financial events that you cover so well, and your expert guest, Crypto Cowboy, and all the others. You're very spot on, and you have it really narrowed in. I'm telling you from a scientist in field theory, this information is not out. There's another more important dynamic that's going on that makes completely irrelevant financial systems or real estate or commodities. This is an event where very few people will survive just through the physical mechanics of planet Earth.
Since 2009, I've sounded the alarm about this event. What the world's population is about to go through is a rebirth. In order for a rebirth to occur, the old system, ways, world must first die off. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the other heaven and other earth had passed away. I've attempted to explain to others that what is known as climate change was a system's attempt to misrepresent to the public what was actually taking place around the world. Of course, many didn't listen to these warnings, but the signs are all around us. They put them in movies, as well as television programs. This is why I've shared in the Mark of Cain video. The planet has gone through multiple resets before. Bereshit bara, in one of many beginnings.